Today, from Seattle, Washington, it's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks taking on Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. The Bears offense ready to go to work here for the first time, leading them out the 11th overall pick in the 2021 draft, Justin Fields out of Ohio State.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try and eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Flush to his right. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Malik Collins busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense ready to go here for the first time, and leading them is the 7-time Pro Bowler. In his 10th year now in the NFL, Russell Wilson.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger, throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The The numbers on the ground for Carson last week: 17 carries, 69 yards.
And partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. This is Carson, and he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Great first drive defensively. 3rd and short, able to stuff the run.
And what it does is it gives not just confidence to your defensive players, it gives an overall feeling of, okay, we've established things here early. We can carry this throughout the game.
7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And they have secured that spot in the playoffs, clinching the NFC North Division, in fact. So for the moment, they would be hosting a wild card game in round 1.
And I think it is cause for celebration. Let's not get hung up on the fact that only one team now gets a bye in the first round. Win your division, get to the playoffs, celebrate that. And by the way, they are guaranteed a home game. That's a good way to start the playoffs.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Off play action. Fields sliding out of the pocket. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he takes it all the way down to the 15.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
They go back to Carson here on 2nd. Now this will go for 5 up to the 33. This defense for the Bears, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. This returnable for Bird. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fields. And this is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Fields. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A gain of 22. Play action. It's Fields. Escaping the pressure right. That's complete right side to Kmet. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Fields throwing again. And this is going to be intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January. And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified. That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot defensively. How do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there? Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They run it with Carson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Now it's Carson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out. On 1st down, it's Carson. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6. They'll try the left side. Carson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 82 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. On first and goal, they'll try the option left. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. Carson. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chart.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Touchdown! Allen Robinson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bears on just 2 plays have taken the lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Chris Carson trotting back out there, and he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Eddie Goldman able to record his 5th sack of the season. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Wilson. A pass underneath for Carson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Richie James, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. to bring it out here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. And the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, we'll see if they want to try to put a drive together, possibly even take the lead here with a touchdown. Deep ball for Goodwin. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Chris Carson in the Seattle offense. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
All day, dog. 59 bucks. You ain't right. 59. Watch run.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now it's Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Working with a 2nd and 4.
Let's go, D.
Again, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Short throw to Disley. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Myers' kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
So we are at halftime here in Denver. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now it's Wilson. James has got it. Complete. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down now. It's Carson, and 3 yards there, takes him to the 45. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 28. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Here's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Touchdown, Seahawks. Will Dissly, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
On play action, Fields. Deep ball for Goodwin. Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
Greatest show on earth, baby.
Chicago. Marquise Goodwin. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Bears draw a bit closer. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You can see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And boy, it was pretty.
Santos able to tack on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9.
59, check, 59.
They'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Mike, check, 59. Watch the out.
Wilson. He goes right back to Metcalf, this time complete. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Here's Wilson to throw. Short throw to Disley. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
99 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. This throw complete. Wilson finding Lockett. Jukes by again. Touchdown! Tyler Lockett. His second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a two-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just two scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. A play fake, now Fields to throw. They'll roll him out right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Cole Kmet, the intended receiver. But it'll be second and goal.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over it, and they got there to break that one up.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on second and goal? Flush to his right. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Jordan Brooks in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Flushed out right. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. Touchdown, Bears! Marquise Goodwin. His second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Bears have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Santos with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Chris Carson trotting back out there. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. To throw is Wilson. Short throw to Disley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 115 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Here's Carson. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the Bears will get the football back. So now Fields and the Bears down by 7. Just over 1:40 to play. And their 4-game winning streak in great danger. Back to throw. He'll buy some time right. And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's throwing it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
He's going to let it fly. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Chicago. Marquise Goodwin. 57 yards. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Here's Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's James. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Count down toward a minute to go in this football game. Now Wilson. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now on 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made, in my estimation.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. On the return, it's Bird. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears now ready to take over again. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do they do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Tevin Jenkins, a second-round pick, the guilty party. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. Now it's Fields. Rolling to his right. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the...
And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready in the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together, make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Now the focus shifts to the Seahawks offense, trailing by a touchdown. A little over 20 seconds to go. They've got to travel the full 75 yards, and time is obviously a huge factor here. 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Buying time to his left. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win. Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1 is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime.
I'm with you. Do see some fans holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. Taking it about the 1. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Fields on first down. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
I'm impressed,
yeah, I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct? But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds.
And how about that? So many times the big play is what does it in overtime. They got one there, move the ball past midfield, and now you know they're on the move, looking to score the game-winning touchdown, because a field goal won't finish the game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And off comes to Montgomery. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front, because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. He's to the 10, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
So for Chicago, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.